G'day guys, welcome to another video. We have already started working and I forgot to grab the camera out because even after all this time, I still forget that I'm a vlogger. So I also forget to turn music off. Okay Google, turn off music. Stop. Okay Google, stop. Anyway, Frosty's here. We have started modifying the exhaust. I actually already wound the suspension down. The reason I'm going through this trouble this morning is getting this car off to alignment today and finally getting the AC gas. So the idea is to make this thing super drivable. I'm going to be driving it the 2.5 or so hours out to Morgan Park, drifting it and then driving it home. So got to sort of make sure she's good to go for the road and obviously the track as well. So Frosty's doing his Frosty things. Where's your merch?
Around here.
Yeah, I've got the merch.
Oh, you do. Look at him. Where's your merch, mate?
True. I don't know. He's called me out. I still haven't given Frosty a shirt. I don't even know how or why that hasn't happened yet. I'll make it happen today. Definitely need to make that happen today. Make sure you don't leave without some shirts. Oh, that's terrible. What a terrible mate. Helps me out like this and he hasn't even got a shirt yet. Anyway, the exhaust on this car isn't terrible. It just is badly. It stems from the rest of the exhaust is good, but the dump pipe sucks. And right now we don't have time to fully redo the dump pipe, so we're just modifying the back part of the exhaust. I want this to stick out just a touch more because you can see the burn marks around here because the exhaust sort of stopped in a bit too shallow. So it's sort of getting some stuff on the bumper, and then yeah, it was hanging super low under the diff and I wanted to lower the back, which I have already done. I don't know how low it's going to end up, but definitely going to be lower. And yeah, Frosty loves my bench.
It's sick.
Love my bench.
It was too heavy.
It's freaking heavy, dude. Like just that top piece is actually gnarly. Yeah, it's a proper two-person lift. Even the guys that did all the work, they're like, yeah, you went a bit thick, mate. And I was like, yeah, I want to be able to hammer on it and not have issues.
That's sick.
Yeah. All right, you do. Anyway, all right, Frosty's work here is done on the Red Bulls. I nearly put it down without checking, so we gone and put in that whole new piece there, re-welded in, did a little adjustment there, but it's tucked up way more. Obviously this is not our finished product by any means. We're going to do a full exhaust on this thing at some point, majority of an exhaust anyway, with a different rear muffler. I actually want something a bit more low-key than the muffler that's on the back of the car, especially because it's not kitted. I'd prefer something that sort of tucks up, you know, way higher, because without a kit it's just too big.
Like a little lobster tail, mate.
That's what I want, little lobster that, but
what you did in 90 was good, the big muffler that sat up in there.
Exactly, that's literally exactly what I want to do. So I'm going to try and do something like that, slow this thing down and see how much lower the rear is. didn't film it, but we went and got all the alignments done. 370Z, fully aligned with all the new GK Tech gear. They mentioned like so much adjustability. It's actually ridiculous. I cannot wait to drive this thing. Obviously, I got the JZX done as well, but a funny thing, I want to do a quick comparison on poke. So we got about that much poke there. T, you're good. You can park that now. So we're just getting back, and I've taken a bunch of the camber out of the front of JZX, and a little bit of a pokey boy on the front. Not crazy by any means, but definitely, yeah, a little bit of a pokey boy. I don't know if I'm gonna end up putting more camber back into it or what. Unfortunately, these are only a 9. I swear they're wider than a 9, these wheels, because I'm having issues with the inners touching the lower control arm or a tie rod or something on full lock. Obviously the car does have a ton of lock, so that's playing into it. But as far as the actual height of the car is, I'm actually really happy. I love just a little tiny bit of tyre tuck in the rear and then a little bit of tyre gap in the front. As a daily driver, I think this is like exactly where I want to be height-wise. Just need to work out the fitment, because that front poke is definitely a big thing and the rear guards aren't done at all. So my thoughts going forward into the future is possibly going for like an N-style flare on this car. The JZX100 I nearly bought instead of this one. Like I was about to pull the trigger on it when this one popped up. Wasn't very mechanically done, but the looks of the car I absolutely love. So I'll try to put a picture of that in here. And then also here is another JZX100 with the Mark II N-style. This is the look I really like on a JZX. And I think, you know, that's probably where we'll end up going. So whether I, you know, sell these guards off to someone if they want them, like they're beautifully done, just not quite big enough for what I need. And I go N-style flares on a stock guard and N-style rear, which means I would be cutting up this mint body, because when you do these flares, you do like a S13, you cut up into the body, which seems like a shame. But this car, it was a drift car. It is very clean now, but it's got history, so you know, you don't really feel as bad cutting into it. So we'll see. We're going to take this thing finally for its first test this weekend. Oh, you can see now as well, I got a little bit exhaust poke. I figure if I'm going to have a big muffler like that on, at least have a little bit of poke. So ideally, again, with the style I'm going for this car, I'd probably prefer you see a lot less exhaust. If any of the OGs on the channel been around for long enough, you'll know my JZX110 I used to have, the exhaust was tucked and you actually couldn't see it at all. I loved that. I absolutely loved the fact that, and it was kind of quiet until it cracked gate, which is a personal favorite of mine. I think when a car's really quiet but then gets super rowdy when you want it to, I think that's like a perfect recipe for a nice street car. So yeah, super pumped on this car though. I now have air conditioning. We gassed up the AC on this car as well, which makes it a lot more pleasant to drive. Just driving all the way here with the windows up and the AC cranking, and yeah, very pumped for Queensland on a Queensland winter day. Yeah, legit. AC. Yeah. AC. I don't even know how you're wearing pants.
I left this morning with a jumper and I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah, Queensland.
It's Queensland winter.
Yep. I don't know. I'm super pumped with how this car is looking right now, guys. I don't know. That height-wise is absolutely spot on to me. Some people don't like the little tyre gap at the front, but I don't know, I love it. For me, more than anything, I like the front and the rear and the skirts to basically be sitting at the same height. And that's what I quite like. So yeah, let me know what you like down below, whether you just like them railed out or higher again, or do you like the forwards rake? I personally hate the forwards rake. Like when the front's lower than the rear. Yeah,
I like all. I prefer big camber
and slammed.
Yeah, over.
Oh, you don't. Oh, because this doesn't have the 7.5 degrees of camber anymore. That's how much it had. 7.5 degrees.
I definitely liked it a lot more before it left the house.
Yeah.
Because it was.
It had, guys. It had 7.5 degrees of camber. Now it has 2.5 or 3. I can't remember what the finishing number was. But it's nice.
Basically 0 at the moment. That's what it looks like.
It looks.
You can't even see any camber in it. Okay, maybe like, yeah, okay, maybe a degree.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think you should have put more in the rear.
Camber?
Left the front and then...
No, I'm taking it drifting. I don't want to kill tyres.
But it looks cool.
No, she's a daily, so I actually don't think we're zero rear either. I don't think we're able to go zero because of the guards. So the guards are a little bit, well, they're lightly rolled.
It actually looks like it has positive.
In the rear?
Yeah.
No, I think it's just zero. So the rear is zero and then the front's got like a couple
if it's
degrees.
zero, it's basically positive.
Keep in mind, Tiana, you're looking at it with like on a driveway. If you look at this side, it looks like it's got some. Not much, but it looks like it's got some.
Nah. To me, it looks positive. It looks like it looks positive.
The only time you're going to be positive.
Hey, I'm positive when it's negative.
Seriously. Oh, that needs to be a shirt.
Yeah, that might be a new design.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
Tiana's positive when she's negative.
Can we wind some negative into that?
Into yours?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Because it's just daily. Oh, there's a little bit on the front.
No, you've got camber at the front.
So that's probably the same as yours, in my eyes. Maybe like a degree.
I actually think you've got more camber than me.
Yeah, but I want to...
Because you've got extended LCAs, but not stock uppers.
But I want how yours was.
You're not driving around. You can't
Why?
stop. Guys, 7.5 degrees of camber, for reference, I would hit the brakes and it would pretty much just try and lock up the fronts because I was driving on like that much tyre. You can't daily. We have kids.
Yeah, I know. I can't rail it because that's not practical.
アミムアットリーストアイハブサムポケサッツカインドオブクール
If you whisper quieter, I'll make sure you don't
Sorry.
hear.
Just put one of those Asian voices in over me.
Anyway, super stoked on the
I just need
fleet.
weather shields on mine and then I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah. Super stoked on the fleet. Unfortunately, I'm not going to have the S13 done before this weekend, which is what I was it'd be nice to get that thing out for a test.
Have you told them about the Falcon yet? Have you
Yeah,
actually
there's
said
a whole
it?
vlog. Was yesterday or
already
the day
know
before
it?
I put a vlog up. You guys already seen it.
I haven't.
What do you think?
What?
On the car going to Japan?
I'm the one that encouraged you. You thought about it and I'm like, do it, do it,
Yeah,
do
because I
it.
kind of wanted to take the Z because it's the Z, but...
Yeah, but you can get a Z over there.
Exactly, yeah. I think the Japanese are going to absolutely flip when they see a Falcon.
I felt like I was more stoked on it happening than you were until we started telling people and then they were like, that's sick. And then in your mind, you're like, okay, it's not just her that thinks it's a good idea.
No, because
Maybe.
I genuinely thought like Japanese car taking it to Japan would be easier than taking a Falcon to Japan. Turns out it's much of a muchness.
Yeah.
So.
And then it's just different.
Yeah. And I also found out it's kind of hard to take these back, like import, like just say if we want to take that back to Japan, it's kind of hard because we need to find the original seller and get some stuff for them because they're the ones that deregistered it in Japan.
Right.
And blah, blah, blah. So the Falcon being that it was owned here, you know, it makes the possible registration ideas actually possible.
And you can't fit 4 kids in the Z. I mean, 4 people in the Z.
Yeah. Well, that's
So
a good point.
Falcon.
Well, no, I've been thinking about this. I'm going to have to do a cage to suit the fact that we need to carry passengers around.
Yeah.
So I might make the rear removable, and then when we get to Ibisu, take the rear seats out, bolt the back part of the cage in.
Do they allow rear passengers in a 4-seater?
At Ibisu?
Yeah.
Probably.
During Matsuri?
Ibisu realistically has no rules. A lot of the rules enforced are from power vehicles and anybody else that does run stuff there, because obviously they just want people to be safe, where Ibisu's kind of like, the gates are open, if you live, you live, if you die, you die. Good luck. That's pretty much Ibisu the way. I know it definitely used to be like that. I don't know. It still looks like it's quite a bit like that.
I mean, I almost died there.
You?
Yeah, in the 32.
Oh, yeah.
When I wrote it off.
Yep. So, yeah, you definitely... The rules that are in place now at Ibisu are because, you know, we had a guy from WA, if you don't already know, ended up paralysed from a crash at Ibisu, and then there was another guy from Melbourne who flipped with an open face helmet and messed up his face. And that's why all the new rules are in place at Ibisu. Well, not when I say new, there's been a couple of years now, but the whole full cage harnesses and proper seats is in place. So, and full faces, because, you know, you used to be able to go to Ibisu and drive with a friggin' ice cream bucket on your head. you pretty much just do whatever you want.
We should get someone. We should just buy some of the cheap full face helmets and get someone to draw on them so they're not.
Agree.
I mean, plain basic.
Yeah, we'll work something out. But yeah, I'm probably just going to wrap this one up here, short one, and just letting you know all the car's wheel line, exhaust is done on this. Yeah, I'm freaking. I just got to basically organise what tyres I need for this car and the 370Z. And yeah, head out. I guess the car's already loaded. I do need to still bleed up the handbrake and just check some things under the back of the car. I'm going to actually mark everything to see if anything moves. And yeah, that's it.
And there's 2 JZX design shirts on the website. We should have picked them up. There's been a slight delay in the processing of them. So we should... The printing.
Yeah.
So we should be picking them up hopefully this weekend for them to get sent out next week.
And this will be going up probably Sunday, so we'll have them.
Okay, yeah.
At the time this video's up.
And then there's 2 new designs which I haven't put on the website yet, and they will be done in both shirts and then one of them in jumpers. And then there'll be like
hoodies.
There'll be like a whole limited edition thing with those, but we'll have to put more of that in there. It'll be easy to explain once we actually have them in stock. Yeah, because it's a weird thing.
All right. She's got to go pick up kids. I've got to go edit videos. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out, and I'll see you in the next one.
Gonna shake some green, yellow, black flag, rule, gal, shake some. We don't want no drama in this, so don't make none. Mob until the day come, yeah, till the day come. And the day came, still thumbing through the night, chance